everyone knows Python is slow, but today I'm going to show how slow it is, especially in loops, by a really stupid and unprofessional test comparing it to doing the same thing in C. So I'm going to open up the I'm going to open up the Python file. So here's what it's doing in both of them. So there's a function that okay, so basically this is so stupid. So there's a variable called x. Oh, well, there is one difference. I forgot I set x to 1 in the Python. I began it at 0 in the C program, but that shouldn't make any difference. Not any noticeable difference anyway. But yeah. So basically, it goes and adds 1, and then goes through this chain of basically just passing it to different variables. This is so stupid. It passes it to this one, and then it divides it by a huge floating point number, and then passes it to this one, which divides it by another floating point number, and then multiplies it by a really big by this crazy floating point number, and then it sets that back to the original x. It does that 1,000 times. Then it does the same thing, except it subtracts instead of, or actually not 1,000, 10,000, and then it subtracts. Really, this isn't what's getting it, even though floating point division can be kind of harsh, it can be kind of weird, but it's really just the iteration. And here, let me show you the C file. Yeah, I actually don't even need the header, but it's there anyway. So I define this. This is probably actually I'm not sure how much this is. It really, I could have just used numbers, but I wanted to define it as macros, so it would be done by the preprocessor. But it's really not going to change anything. And then something that helps a lot is that these are all that C is statically typed, so it knows that they're floats, and it doesn't have to figure them out when I do this. And these are the same numbers as before I copied them. Like basically this whole thing, like this I basically just copied and then added semicolons. Yeah, so this is just the same thing, but written in C. And I'm not gonna run it. Actually, I'll run the C one, but the Python one takes like 6 minutes. So yeah, I cannot type. So yeah, it still takes a little bit. And it might take a little bit longer because OBS is running, but it shouldn't. Last time when I first tried it and what showed on the GitHub repo, which will be linked in the description, it just took like 6 minutes. Or not 6 minutes. Oh, I forgot to time it. Oh. I am kind of stupid. Just so you know, don't use this as a judgment of whether or not to learn Python. Python is still a good language for if you need something to use quickly. Sorry, my audio was a little bit loud. Oh, it's actually shorter than what I did last time. That's funny. And I even have OBS running this time. But yeah, I'll do Python and then I'll just skip it. I'll just fast forward it or something. Not main. Alright, this will be a while, so I'll just pause the recording.
One eternity later.
Well, it's done. It took 6 minutes, 27 seconds this time.